All right. Hello, everyone. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you about GitHub and Obsidian, which is kind of a software that we are going to use in order to document and share whatever the research or whatever the documentation we are going to make in this project. Now, I'll start with a little bit of an introduction. So we have two different things similar, but there are differences. So we are going to talk about Git and GitHub. So Git is a version control system. The whole purpose of Git is essentially to keep track of the changes that you're making into certain files. Now, this works very well for code and also any text-based documents. So that's great for us. Any documentation we prepare is going to be text-based. So we are going to use Git in order to keep track of what we are doing and our progress. So that way we can go back and forth and change things and see who did what and stuff like that. Now, GitHub is a website that sort of hosts the data in Git, and that is a website that you can use to share your work and also to collaborate with multiple people. Now, that's what we are going to use. So those are the two tools we are going to use in order to collaborate with all the participants in this project. Now, Obsidian is a note-taking platform. Now, this has been popular, like this is a very recently this is a very new application, and I personally like this because it keeps your data as text files. So you can, one, they are small to store, and also you can open them with any other application like Notepad or Notepad++ or Visual Code or anything like that. And it's cross-platform. It can actually work on Windows, Linux, and also on Macs. So that's nice as well. Now, in this video, I'm going to focus on installing Git and Obsidian in Windows, but this can also, as I said, can be installed on Linux and Macs. If you have questions about it, reach out and I'll send you the required instructions for those platforms, or you can actually Google and find yourself. So now first we need to download these programs, Git and Obsidian. So in order to do that, you can just Google download Git, and it's the first link. You can go there, and we are on a Windows platform, select your platform, and then you can download that. Same thing with Obsidian, Obsidian for Windows. If you Google, it'll go to your download page. Now, right now, I have both of those downloaded. So these are the setups for Git and Obsidian. I'm going to start installing Git first. It takes a little bit, so we'll start with that. Now, so when you're installing Git, there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. Is where you look. This is where you're installing it, which is fine. It's the default location. Now here, personally, I'm not using GUI, so I usually remove that tech. But that's okay if you keep it. Right, I went on to the next step. This is fine, default options. Now this one, the default editor. Now this you need to change. Vim is a command line editor, which may or may not be the ideal solution for someone starting. So you can choose whatever you have here. I'm just going to go with Notepad because that's the default one we have, and I can click on next. Now for these option, let's select the override option because that's a new thing that Git has been doing. And so we can go with that. And all the other options, we can just leave it as it is and it will work fine. So just going to go through all of that and finally install it. It'll take a little bit to install. While it's installing, I'm going to go start the Obsidian installer. That is much simpler. You just select who you want to install. I'm going to save to everyone and let it run. Location, yeah, that's installing as well. So I have both the installers running right now, and we'll wait while those finish. Now, in the meantime, I have some of the steps written down for this in the slides. If you go down here and just click on it, that'll take you to GitHub. This is one of the project pages here. Okay, so once you have all the software installed, okay, so this is Git is installed correctly. Oh, let me start sharing. Right, Git is installed correctly. Obsidian is also installed correctly. Now, if you minimize and go back, you'll see Obsidian has an icon. Now, Git unfortunately does not give you an icon. So one thing you can do is go to a location. For example, let's say I want to put all my files for this project in here in my documents. So what you can do is you right click and you'll see an option now saying git bash here. If you click that, it'll open up a command window, and that's good. You can type git here, no spaces, and it'll show you some outputs showing that git is working. So that's fine. Now, in order to clear this window, you can say CLS, I guess clear. Yeah, clear will clear up the black window. Now, I'm just going to follow the instructions I gave you initially. Now, first thing, you need to generate something called a key pair. So you can copy the command we have with everything in there. Copy, sorry, copy and paste. Maybe, okay, right. So you copy and paste that. Okay. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Oh, I think I have multiple S's. Well, we can get rid of that. That's all right. You can type SSH key. Oh, I think it's the copying and pasting ED25519. Yeah, if you run that, it'll ask, hey, do I want to save a enter file? I'll leave it as default. Right now, I have that already. It's asking for a passphrase. I'm not going to say anything. Enter the same passphrase again. I'm just going to leave it blank. So that's good. Now the next command is ls, starting with that tilde symbol, /.ssh slash. So once you have done that, you'll see files created called ID ed25519, which is good. The file we are interested in is this pub file. That's the private and the public key. We are interested in the public key. But anyways, so I just clear the window. Now the next step is to set your email and your username that you're using for GitHub. So you need to go to github.com, uh, github.com, and make yourself an account. Now I already have an account. Now this account is associated with my name and also a specific email that I have. So once you have that information, you can go back and do these commands. So I'm not going to copy paste anymore because it gave me errors. I'm going to type them up, give config -- global. This is saying configure it globally. User.name, your name, Pereira, and then I'm going to say git config -- global user.email within packets. Now I have a very long email for this. In your case, this will be your mix email for sure, which should work fine. I have some security issues going here, and that's why I have this long email. Now, once you have done that, then what you can see whether your settings are correct if you do git config dash global. It'll print out uh, I messed up, GLOBAL global list, I believe. Right. If you type git config list, it'll tell you your email is this, your username is this. That's what we want. Those are the things we just changed. So if you see that, you have done it correctly. Now I'm just going to I'll update the command here. So the command again is git config list. I'll update that information on the page as well. Okay, nice. Now we have configured everything to my account. Now to the next step is that say, hey, this computer has authentication. Now, in order to do that, the next step, we'll need to try this cat command, cat tilde dash dot ssh dash id. You can actually use the tab command to complete it, auto complete it. We are looking for that the public key. So once you have the public key, you can see everything in this window. I'm right now here. I already copied the text. You can go open up. I'm just going to open it in a new tab here so that we can have the instructions. Right, in my instance, I have a lot of keys here, but if you might not have anything there, you just have to paste it here. And then for the title, I'm saying Git. You can say this is a Windows test setup for me, Windows test. And if you add the key and then you scroll down, you'll see that it pops up. It's giving you here saying Windows tests, and it'll say, hey, added this date, it has never been used. All right, if you get to this point, you're all good. Now, if there are errors or issues, feel free to email me saying, hey, with a screenshot, hey, this is what I did, this is what I get. So then we can figure out what's going on. Now, if you're good until this point, then you can go ahead and go to our project page, which is WHCUL slash ARC hab. This is the page, and you'll see some stuff here, again, instructions, but the important thing is click on this green icon, click on SSH, copy that code, go back to the black window and say git clone and paste that. All right. So if you have done everything correctly, this will automatically download everything and save it in the location we selected. So it's right now in my documents, and you see that there is a folder created as we have. And if you go into it, you'll see the updated documents and all of that. Yeah, so essentially now you have Git set up in a sense. Now to couple this with Obsidian, what you'll have to do is just open up Obsidian. Okay, I think mine was already set up, sort of. I am going to just remove it, manage faults. So in your case, you will not see that there. Just going to exit that. So you'll be greeted with a window like this. So what you can say at that point is go open folder as Vault, click on that, and then go back to the location where you saved ARC hab. That's that location. Select that and click on select folder. This will reinitialize this program, and it'll show you all the files that's there. So one of the things right now, so you can see all of these are text files. You can even have images and all of that. This is using a format called Markdown. For example, I can show a example change. Now remember that I had missed a command. So here I can use in order to check the settings. And you can use it config list and check if you see your email and username. Yeah, so now I have done changes to a document. Now you'll see um, down here, it'll automatically show you, oh, hey, these things you have changed. Now, in order to push this, we call it pushing is essentially uploading it. You can just click on that button and it'll automatically upload it. And it'll say committed to files, push to files to remove. Now, if you were to go to the website, it's under documentation, tutorials, Git setup. Now, if you go there, you'll see the change we made is automatically mirrored to Git. So this is the way of setting up Git and Obsidian. Now, down the line, when someone changes something else, you can click on these buttons, the pull button, in order to get updates from that website. So anytime that you're trying to start, before starting work, you should click on that pull and it'll automatically go through and change things. Yeah, that's sort of like what I think. Also, I am a fan of dark mode, so we can change it to dark. Yes, there we go. I like dark mode, so you can do that as well. This works very well. So you can go through and check the documentation available, and you can change stuff as you need. Yeah, that's sort of it. And if you have questions, always reach out. I will. I'll be happy to answer and help out things. So yeah, that's it for me, and hopefully you get on GitHub and update documents as you go along the project. All right, I'll see you next week. Let's stop recording.